Tonight on Chronicle, combining the skills of a champion skier and a master shoemaker.
The approach is to custom make the boot to fit every single foot.
Custom-made ski boots from Strolz.
A lot of people stop skiing because they're uncomfortable skiing. Their feet hurt so much, their feet are so cold. But when you have a boot that really fits your foot, you're more apt to keep skiing longer.
The Unlikely Art Teacher, how a Londonderry Elementary School custodian works overtime for the kids he loves.
I use maple, I use oak, I also use a sumac type leaf that's tougher. The maple leaves have that natural beauty about it, and that you can take advantage of that.
Plus, Fritz Weatherby's New Hampshire.
The man made a clock that revolutionized the industry. I'll tell you the story on New Hampshire Chronicle.
That's next on Chronicle.
The plain truth of the matter is you either love them like me or
would really be happier without being around them like me.
Either way, we bet you'll feel strongly about them.
Snakes live on every continent except Antarctica, making them one of the most common species in the world. So, like them or not, I guess I need to get used to them.
And we're going to help you get through it this week at the home of Nerd, and that is the New England Reptile Distributors here in Plastow.
And I will try not to have a hissy fit. Get it? Sissy.
Ooh, you're so scary when you do that. A closer look tomorrow night. Tonight, though, the New Hampshire ski industry has close ties to Austria dating back to the 1930s when Hannes Schneider brought his expertise to North Conway.
Now, ski equipment has come a long way since then, and the Austrians continue to have an influence on its innovation. Entrepreneur George Donovan recognized the quality of his favorite bootmaker, Strolz Boots of Austria, and decided to bring them to an American market.
For those in search of the right ski boot to enjoy the mountains of New Hampshire, George says he has the perfect fit.
Before I skied in the Strolz boot, I do remember how cold my toes would be. Now it's just your foot is just very comfortable.
I no longer have to think about the fit. I can think about what I should be doing on my skis instead of how my feet feel.
My husband George and I got into this business because of how passionate his family is about skiing, and through the family friendship that they had with the Strolz family in Austria.
There's Hannes Schneider when he was
Small boy.
Small boy, and Engelbert Strolz.
My grandfather's name is Ambros, my father's name Martin. Since I remember, there always have been shoes around, you know, everywhere, you know. I also good school for myself because my father took me with him just 8 years old, and I started to do little things in the workshop.
The Strolz family started quite naturally as shoemakers in town, you know, a town that's been in existence 600 years. So it's a natural progression from a shoemaker. When alpine skiing was born in the Arlberg region, naturally the cobbler was the one they went to start modifying shoes to use them as ski boots. And they've been continuously doing that since 1921, and you know, 3 generations now.
This year it's the 90th celebration year of making ski boots. Always change the boots was changing with the style of skiing.
Gewicht nach außen, Ski flach halten.
You know, when Hannes Schneider came up with the Arlberg style, so the demand of a ski boot was a different one too. We always made custom fit boots, you know. The nice thing is we have not to change the philosophy since my grandfather started and what we're doing right now. I think it's almost continually the same thing, you know. High quality, a small quantity. We are very close to the customer.
They design, build, and sell boots. So the systems that they've designed to make work, and we're confident of that. So from our standpoint, we send always a new boot fitter to Austria to train.
Being able to get sent to Austria to go over where Hannes Schneider came from and see all that history over there is something very special to me. That, you know, growing up in North Conway and seeing the Hannes Schneider statue in front of Mount Cranmore, and my grandparents talking about Hannes Schneider all my life, for them to look down at me and see me over in Austria, like living with these people and being a part of that history, that was very important to me. All right, Mary, let's make some boots. We start off by taking measurements of the foot with a footprint. We then measure the instep, the ball of the foot, also around the calf. I pad all of the sensitive bones in your feet. What this does is helps you with the comfort.
The approach is to custom make the boot to fit every single foot.
Once I get those measurements, I can take the measurements in the back room and I use wooden last. They're actually little wooden feet, and we can actually put that over their footprint, and I can construct that wooden foot just like that person's foot.
We have a number of shells that will conform to any type of skier, whether you're an advanced, intermediate, or whatever. That shell can be reconfigured to match your foot. Then in the last phase, we have the inner boot foamed, the hand-lasted leather inner boot foamed to take up the difference and really make it a precision fit.
Yeah, they feel like slippers. They're so comfortable. It's great. Matt did a fabulous job, and he's got so many boots under his belt, and so he really knows what he's doing in terms of boot fitting, and he's dealt with all different kinds of feet, and that's the experience base that you really need. The boot fitter is key.
Every customer is different. That's what makes this job exciting. Sometimes you deal with someone with a very small foot, very big feet. People travel from all over the country to come get boots from me here. This is a couple customers we've had come in, size 16 feet and above. The one on your left here is actually Michael Doliak's foot from the Dallas Mavericks. So we fit professional basketball players, athletes that there's no other ski boot that they're going to find that's going to fit them.
For them it's the only chance. If we can't make them a boot, then it becomes tough to them. But before we give up, we try everything,
All people can use the boot because of the comfort and the performance. And then people who have really problems with their feet, whether because just by nature they're oversized or they've had some type of trauma and or just even bunions that make a normal ski boot very uncomfortable.
A lot of people stop skiing because they're uncomfortable skiing. Their feet hurt so much, their feet are so cold. But when you have a boot that really fits your foot, more apt to keep skiing longer.
I'm pretty much committed to the sport of skiing. Also the Strolz family. I have a strong link to Hannes, who's my good friend for 40 years now. We were lucky today that we had the opportunity to speak with Hannes because he doesn't come to the United States that often, especially in season. Every 3 or 4 years he gets through, sees how our operations are doing, meets with our boot fitters at some of the other shops, and it was always a pleasant to see him in the United States. And it's important for me to see the Strolz flag planted in North America and continued so that it continues to wave here and people have the opportunity to get Strolz boots.
Coming up